doesn't impact the project.
Well, in
It's
the
on a
middle, it's going
case-by-case.
to in some way.
Case-by-case
There's Sound
basis.
or flicker is gonna.
If we modeled it,
fall in
it's
place.
not gonna have a sound impact or flicker impact, we don't need it for setbacks, we don't need it for collection, we don't need it for anything, then we would handle it on a case-by-case basis.
That's understandable.
There you go.
See, on this map here, Dan, you can't tell where your property line is, so you can't tell whether that turbine is, you know, if the setbacks are from your property or not, if they're, you know, that's,
Well, I know where all the dune buggy flags are, and the one dune buggy flag's still getting a turbine, the taller on the proposed map. So, it's about 2,400 feet away from my house.
oh.
And so, also those types of changes, right, those types of terminations, those types of adjustments would not be made until after COD, okay? So you wanna make absolutely sure. There you go.
So my plan, we're all here, I just want to kind of go around the room to everyone and see how they feel about the increased height.
Yeah.
So my turn's next. Honestly, I just feel like we've gone through this. We had everything done, signed, and at the last minute, you guys are changing stuff. And you've made a lot of promises to a lot of farmers in the town. And now you're just changing it. It's just not very good business practice. It's kind of like a bait and switch.
Okay, we would wholeheartedly disagree, but we appreciate the comment.
Okay. Sue, how do you feel?
It was a long process getting to where we got. You almost feel like you're going to start all over again. It's just so overwhelming that you think that when Justin mentioned the larger ones at the last one or so, it was like I could feel my body go, no, you know. I'm neither for or against the windmills. Okay, I'm kind of neutral. But the process of getting where we got was just a lot of work for a lot of people, and for you as well. But that's all I have to say.
Carol?
I'm a contract holder. And the whole point was to bring revenue to the whole town. We're a small town. Every expense is more. You're settling with the union for more wages for the highwaymen. There's always a request for new equipment. Nobody has brought another project in that's going to give us the revenue that this project would. Yes, it's going to take time, but I think probably you're not going to like it, but it's been on the board since 2007. And we had a good law in 2007, and it's been changed. Now it looks like it's going to have some amendments, and I want to see it continue, but I'm in a position where it's beneficial for not only the people that have got the contract, but the whole town.
Dean?
Did a lot. I saw the process trying to go through long before any of us were on the board, and nothing was done, and you people wanted more and more to get us going and get us involved. When the process changed and we got into trying to work with the process, that nothing had been done, it was starting all over from scratch. Those years before us were just thrown out. You couldn't do anything with them. I know the work that a lot of people in this community have done to get it to this point. I know what it has taken to try to get it right between your project and the taxpayers of this community. And it's a large space there that you have to work with. And for right now, to have the rug kind of pulled out from under us is kind of salt in the wound. And I know we took maybe too much time in doing it where other townships, they signed the documents and sent them in and said that's okay. But we had a lot more residential people in areas where these were going that we had to try to work with. And we tried to do that to the best of our ability. Did we do it all right? Probably not. But we tried to do the best we could over the whole situation. Now the rug's pulled out again and we're kind of starting at zero again. And it's difficult. It's difficult for all of us and all the people that work so very hard to get it to this point. Come on, people. You're gonna do the project. Damn it, let's do it.
Candy?
Me? Oh. Well, I understand exactly where you're coming from. 'Cause I have to admit, you know, all these people did work very hard, and you guys worked very hard. But I think we should maybe do some amendments, but do them as quickly and as painlessly as possible, because they have busted their asses. And we need to see the revenue come in, and we don't need to keep having things stalled. It is kind of silly. You know, I do want the project to keep going, but it was a shock even to me when things would have to be amended. So, we'll just try to do it as painlessly as you can, because this town does need the money.
Every small town needs it. All of them.
Absolutely, absolutely.
We don't have any big.
We have nothing, nothing.
And it's going.
I don't even sell Avon. We have nothing. You know, I'm trying to be silly here, but don't lighten it up. But we need the income. But here we had everything all settled, and now there's a twist, and that does happen. That's life. Life is never simple. It's never straight. There's always a curve. So I'm still for you guys, but do it as easily and as simply as possible. That's what I say.
Nick?
Yeah, the 500s are kind of gonna be something new living next to it, because I'm gonna be close to them, so. I don't know what a 500 foot is like. 600's a little taller, but I understand that less of them is kind of a less impact, so that's kind of a good thing. So I guess there's the taller ones with less of them doing the same output, kind of sounds like a good thing. But the extra height maybe is a little questionable on my end, but other than that, it doesn't sound too bad.
Yeah, I don't even mind the extra height, but I just wish that had been brought up before. But maybe you had no knowledge of it before, right?
Right.
It's
Yeah,
new information.
Yeah, we would.
And that's where our curve is. No road is straight. No road is straight.
What are they gonna want?
Marianne?
700?
I'm not giving an
A quarter
opinion.
mile.
800.
Still a quarter mile.
Ginny?
Oh, I think you all know how I feel about the subject, and again, there's research, you know, just talking to Chip about being taller. Is it gonna be more of a impact on the infrasound? Is it gonna make the distance farther as far as your audible? I'm really concerned that I'm one of the only, my daughter and I are the only two in my neighborhood that haven't signed a good neighbor agreement, and I've been in touch with several people that I'm just shit out of luck, you know, because everybody else who signed a good neighbor to fight against a corporation, you know. So I would like to look into, I like the idea to be less. I'm cool about that. I would like to see research done on if it is true, in fact, that if it is less, I would think if it's bigger, it's going to have more vibration, which means more infrasound. And, you know, is it going to protrude, you know, propel the sound and exasperate it? I don't know. I'd like to do more research into that before I made a decision.
Domenico?
I still for you guys.
Kind of debating whether I want to answer it or not.
You don't have to.
I look at it from a green energy standpoint. We have looked at things over the years. I've been in agriculture my whole life in one manner or another. Different states, different countries type agriculture. And I'm currently here, obviously. It has been since 2007. We've actually actually done our homework since 2007. And I think until the rubber hit the road, people weren't doing their homework. And here we are, 2020. Well, look at solar. It's great, it's fun, but look at the footprint. So has nothing to do with the money aspect. It's, okay, there's requirements for even the green energy that's coming within our state, within everything else. Wind power is not new. 1975, there was a huge wind farm that went up in Hawaii, of all places, beautiful Hawaii. It has a place. And if people don't feel that the place is in their property, I feel everyone has a decision to make there, and that's fine. But when you do your homework, there's not a lot of options for meeting requirements within our state. Coming up with things that you don't run out of wind. We can run out of other resources, but you don't run out of wind. So you look at it now and you're like, I don't really like some of these other factors to it, but it will still evolve. And we can still use it for our benefit down the line and still gain, not the money aspect of it, but other factors. There's other things. Again, if you do your homework, you really have to look at the big picture of it. Yes, we are in agriculture, and no different that it's, I understood even when they mentioned about the kind of the pushback from Howard when it came to the logging. How many more things do you want to put on farmers, for example? You're removing their freedoms constantly, and that's kind of happening even with this project. It's like, you can, you can't, and the people that are deciding it aren't the ones that are, serving that land for years and generations. So it's kind of a tough one to answer, but everyone has freedom to answer it. Everyone has their own opinion on it. But I'm looking at the green energy. I'm looking at you don't run out of wind. I'm looking at there's a bigger picture here that I think we could really utilize from a project like that. Do I agree with all of the heights and different things? I actually think wind towers are ugly. You're coming from an artist perspective. I think we could make them like prettier, but you technically can't yet because they're not there yet. But it could happen in the near future. Again, get the main foundation of something together and then work from there. And it can always be better. You can always improve it. And there are time limits on contracts. And quite honestly, if someone doesn't want a thing on their property, I know we'll work with you to make something work for you. If you're set against it, it doesn't need to be on your property. But the fighting that's happened with it too has really been ridiculous. We've lost friends, neighbors to arguments that are just so petty and immature. And I don't think that should happen either. But those are my thoughts.
Thank you. Irv?
I wonder what these people are gonna want next. The town board is bending backwards and working with people. What are you gonna want next, 700-foot towers or what? I think the town board has done a good job of working with people. Meet them halfway.
Bert?
I agree with her. We went 100 feet taller than the ones in Howard, and that was kind of, meeting them halfway. And they agreed to the 500 footers after all the work the town board's done, and they agreed to what the siting commission ruled. And then, 3 days later, you say you can't make it financially? Well, to me, I think you're just doing a money grab. I can't prove it. I don't have the figures and all that good stuff. But if you push for so long, for the last 13 years, for this project at 500 feet, I don't see how it changed in 3 days. Now all of a sudden it's not economically viable. Now I suspect that maybe your funding, they want the 650s, whoever's providing the money for this project, just to prove that, they can make more money off the thing. But you agreed to 500, we came up 100 feet taller than Howard. It's gonna be such an impact to go to 650. Go look at the ones in Howard, scale it out with your thumb, that's 400 foot. You're talking more than half, 50% higher than the ones in Howard. They're huge. And our houses are too close together to have something that big hanging over our homes.
Now, I agree that you've got the right to do with what, your property, what you want, but you've gotta consider your neighbors and the impact on them. And this is huge. This isn't out in the Midwest where you got farms miles apart. These are, houses are right near these things.
Yeah, it
And
does.
these are like moving skyscrapers. I think it's ridiculous. If you can't do it for 500, move on. Let somebody else come in here and do it for 500 footers. There's gotta be some other outfit that's interested.
Larry?
I say we get rid of the damn ugly looking things and let's get some solar farms in here. I go up with my daughters, Caledonia, and there's 2 of them. And you go up 390. And you cut over and get on 5, going into Caledonia. And there's 2 big solar farms. Go over by Olean. There's 2 big solar farms. They're beautiful. They're not some ugly piece of crap sticking up in the air that the paddles don't stay on. What about over in Cohocton when the paddle, well, they come off over there?
Duh.
That happens.
Gee.
Everything breaks.
And you don't hear nothing about it. Somebody could have got killed or hurt or property ruined, but you don't hear a word about it.
Dan?
Well, if you're gonna do it, well, you heard my argument on if my property's not involved, I don't want to be involved with the project. Okay, that's my money aspect. One of the towers was gonna be right directly behind my house, and then I had 2 on either side. So the one behind my house and the one to the west are gonna be eliminated according to the proposed map. And then I hear about the blade in Cohocton, and I'm wondering if the other one that's gonna be 2,400 feet away is far enough, because I don't wanna be sitting in my family room some night and the next thing you know, I got a chunk of fiberglass sitting in, you know, I've already been told by my banker that my property of my 6-year-old house is gonna be almost cut in half, value-wise. So, like I told Mr. Spencer way back when, I don't know if you guys know him, maybe 2 or 3 project managers ago, that I was on the line, so I can take them or leave them. But if you're gonna dump me, I don't want my property tied up in this project at all. If you're gonna put the windmills that are, if you're staying with 500 feet and putting them where they're gonna be, then fine. Like I said, I'm on the border. You don't wanna talk to my wife, because you'll lose 20 pounds the hard way. Because she's dead set against them, so that's my view on the project. Do it the way it is, or take my name off the project list, period.
Jonathan?
Everybody in here knows what my stance is. The largest stakeholder in the room for the wind company. I agree that I was elated when the town board passed the law. I thought, here we go, we're going. I had a private meeting. I was told that things might go the way that they're gonna be going now. Kind of my heart sunk, because I'm like, well, what's gonna happen now? I'm in agreement with your contradiction, but I'm also in agreement that some neighbors have issues with the towers. I don't know how many towers in that map you have pulled out in the, I didn't study the map. What did we have originally in the town of Fremont for turbines?
The original application had 34.
34, and then the revised one is
21.
21. So I mean, you're increasing the height, you're increasing the capacity, and you're lowering the actual footprint of the total project. As far as wind or solar panels, we've had a multitude of companies come in and look at projects for solar panels. The original wind turbines were 2.5 megawatts. You're gonna eat up probably about an acre for one turbine for 2.5 megawatts. A solar project, you're looking at 10 to 20 acres probably, they wanna eat